Hello, this is Thomas J. Linneman, author of Social Statistics, Managing Data, Conducting Analyses, Presenting Results. This is the SPSS demonstration for Chapter 2 on how to create graphs. We're going to go over just a couple of types of the many types of graphs. We're going to start with a bar graph. If you click on Graphs, you see that the first thing is the chart builder, which is one of the ways to create graphs. It's got a lot of bells and whistles that work most of the time. I like the tried and true legacy dialogues though, so that's what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go to Graphs, Legacy Dialogues, Bar, and I'm going to choose that first one. Yours may not look this stretched out. My SPSS sometimes does this, so I've never figured that out. Anyway, you want to click that first one and summaries for groups of cases, which is the default. And I'm going to click define. And very simply, I'm going to put the Newsweek variable in the category axis. Newsweek in the category axis. I'm going to change it to % of cases. And then I'm going to click OK. That's all we need to do. And there we have our graph of this variable. In order to make any changes, you double click on it and it opens the graph up in a separate window called the chart editor. And then anything you want to change, really you just click on it. So let's say, for example, we didn't want these decimal point 0 after the number. If we just wanted to say 50% or 30%. All you do is click on it, and looks like we want to change something about the number format. We don't want any decimal places, so we're going to change that to 0, and the apply button becomes active, so I click apply, and it makes that change. So yeah, anything you want to do, basically, you just click on it. We could play around with this for a long time, but let's not. I'm going to put away the chart editor. And notice when I do that, so the chart in the output window has this net over it. When I put away the chart editor, that net goes away. I'm going to do another bar graph, but this one's going to be a clustered bar graph. So I'm going to go to Graphs, Legacy Dialogues, Bar, and I'm going to do this clustered right here, which lines up with that word there. Again, mine is stretched out. Sorry. Click define. And now, it's a little more complicated. We are going to have two variables involved in this one, kind of an independent and a dependent variable. We're going to look at whether race affects attitudes towards the death penalty, which we've looked at that before using a crosstab, but now we're going to do a graph of it. So I'm going to do death penalty in the category axis box. And then where it says define clusters by, I'm going to do the XY race WB variable. I'm going to choose percentages and then click OK. Okay, so this gives us a very nice picture. It shows that higher percentage of whites favor the death penalty strongly. More blacks either oppose not strongly or oppose strongly. Let's also do a pie graph. So for that, we go to Graphs, Legacy Dialogues, and down to pie, and choose the default there. And we will also do death penalty as our dependent variable. Put that in define slices by. We want % of cases. And now, if I just clicked OK now, it would just give me a simple pie graph of the variable death penalty. But the really cool thing about this pie graph box is it allows us to do what we call what I call paneling. It's one word for it. So I'm going to put the race variable that we just used, race WB, in the rows box. And then I'm going to put the gender variable, the XY gender, in this columns box. Now you'll see what it does. Going to click OK. And very pretty. It gives us 4 pie graphs, kind of plotted out, paneled, plotted, whatever word you want to use, in a very clear format. So for example, we can see that the group that favors the death penalty most strongly is white males, and the group that opposes it the most strongly is black females. So it's just a nice way to get a quick visual of some very interesting relationships. Okay, so that shows you how to do a couple of bar graphs and a pie graph. Lots of other different kinds of graphs. So, you could do a line graph. You can do a histogram. So I talked about histogram in this chapter, population pyramids. You can play around with those on your own. They're pretty easy to do. But for now, for this SPS demonstration, I think that's quite enough. Thank you.